It's the Nunoclock Newz segment. You dig? Everybody tap in. You gonna chop it up about something real. Cause this could go any kind of way.
On May 19th, 2025, Claudia Banton, 46, was sentenced to 23 years to life in prison for the execution-style murder of her childhood friend, Delia Johnson, 42. The incident occurred on August 4th, 2021.
The star of our show.
Now, it was news recently, right? That a woman was sentenced to 23 years. Her name, Claudia Banton. Boom, boom, boom.
Applause broke out in the courtroom as a judge sentenced Claudia Banton to 23 years to life behind bars.
I feel she deserved more, but today is about changing. Today is about forgiving.
The sentencing marks the end of a 4-year nightmare for the family of Delia Johnson, shot execution style on a Crown Heights sidewalk in 2021.
You dig? Now, this is real deep. Because I want to really know how y'all feel about this situation. Now, 2021, there was a scene where y'all seen Shorty in all black walk up to another Shorty. Boom!
Friend. Banton approached Johnson as she conversed with others, shot her in the head, and then fired at least 5 more shots before fleeing in a nearby vehicle. The murder was captured on surveillance video, shocking the community and leading to a months-long manhunt.
Walk back to the whip. White whip. SUV. See it drive smooth off, because all of it was on camera. Here's the backstory to all that. This is sad. This is real sad. Straight like that. Yo, you have this Shorty, Claudia Banton, that will go through shit with her family, and the victim, Delia Johnson, family, will let her stay with them. You dig? You know, went through that stuff, you know, moms kick you out, your homeboy, family, let you stay at the crib, spend the night or some shit like that, you dig? Take your ass back home the next day. Things like that, you dig?
Shot execution style on a Crown Heights sidewalk in 2021.
I am so glad that this is over.
In an emotional victim statement, Johnson's mother asking why and pouring her heart out to Banton, a woman she considered like a daughter who even lived with the family at times.
It felt good because it was a release.
46-year-old Banton listened, with tears streaming down her cheeks, as Johnson's family described feeling betrayed.
So they grew up together. Listen, man. Delia Johnson getting in some scenario with Claudia Banton's man. I don't get that. Son tell me it was much more than that.
Banton listened, with tears streaming down her cheeks, as Johnson's family described feeling betrayed.
I'll never see my sister again.
Johnson's 21-year-old daughter, currently deployed with the Air Force, appeared by video in uniform, struggling to put her pain into words, saying at least her mother didn't suffer. Banton didn't address the family for legal reasons, according to her attorney, but he says her silence shouldn't be mistaken for indifference.
What to make because even you being her homegirl, why would you get into it with her man? You dig? If you were home slice God in the sun, you could have just simply said, yo, man was wilding earlier, blah, 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 blah. Things of that nature, you dig? And you and Shorty chopped it up. And she probably would have got into it with him. Nah, it's something else than that. You dig? Boom. It gets this far to allegedly Shorty stay with her. Sent the kite. The kite went like this. You know what to do with home. home slice when you see on site. Set. Home slice stepped out. He stepped out with their princess. I don't know if she was a child, teen, grown, you dig? But what I do know is they turned up, you know what I'm talking about? They had her smooth up. Supposed to be hitting him, you dig? And she ended up being the victim. Laid up in the hospital. All this going to lead up to this point. Laid up in the hospital. Says she ain't going to make it. Shorty had to pull a plug, Claudia Banton, on her princess. What you seen on the camera was later on that day. Going to the girl that lined her princess up. Was supposed to have been her boyfriend, but she ended up being a victim. Here's the question. Should the ones that called her, yo, she's such and such over here, you dig? Pull up on her. Especially with today's mentality of everybody about that life. We do what we say we are. And knowing that shorty just pulled the plug on her princess. See, I got a problem with that. That means y'all wanted to see something happen. And it did. She skedaddled. Mind you, before she skedaddled, after putting in work on her homegirl she grew up with, laid up in the crib, eating the cereal, cornflakes, all that, right? While skedaddling, get pulled over by Jake. Jake is getting a description of it's supposed to be a nigga. She got away smooth with it. Went out of town with it. Months later, something you doing on that horn made room for people to know where you was at, baby girl. Period. Y'all keep playing with that fucking phone. You got not. Extradited a black ass right back to Brooklyn. So how do y'all feel about that? Y'all already know what it is. She got sentenced to 23. She's 46, which means she'll be out at 69. And out of 23, she'll definitely do a 21 out of it. You dig? So, how you feel about that? You dig? Is that justifiable? Being that, allegedly, Shorty is the one that's supposed to line her up? Because if that was the case, I don't understand how she even got arrested in the first place. Straight up. Straight up. No, she ain't in the right mind. Just pulling the plug on a princess. Then people calling her, talking about, yo, here's Shorty over there. What the fuck y'all think she was gonna do? You would have did it. I don't care what job, what position, or none of that shit. Well, at that heat of the moment, no telling what you gonna do. Straight like that, man. No telling what you gonna do. It is sad that I see a lot of people covering this at all. That's supposed to be from the hood. It's supposed to be about that life. That's supposed to be what they say it is. I don't see none of that getting covered. And then it made me want to say, free Claudia Banton. Hit the like button. Feelings don't change facts. Because I know I would. It ain't even a question.